one that wants to own a company has some direct share, but they don't have a majority share, but they control the company that holds another share, and then they have often 100% of shares in the end.
Thank you. Then, there, yes, please go ahead.
I have a short question. Do you communicate with the Austrian National Bank on this, like on this derivation of groups?
Well, they have started to get our data. We
Yes.
don't receive anything from them, but they receive our data.
So the
since
results
this
of
year.
this process.
Well, the result, yeah,
Yeah.
the result of the enterprise groups. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So I think that these were the questions for the moment. So thank you, Jacob. So we have one more presentation for the session. We go back to profiling activities. So this will be a presentation from ISTAT by Serena on manual profiling and cooperation with multinational enterprise groups, the Italian experience. Please go ahead.
Very good morning, and this study is not mine, is of my colleagues of profiling team, Francesca Lonzi and Sandra Marchettoni. And we can define this study as statistics of manual profiling thanks to the participation of ISTAT in different experience, in particular in the grant 2011, 2013 and 2015. And in particular, the main contents of this presentation are on the organization of profiling team and on the importance of the contact phase of M&Es to collect quality data for manual profiling, to increase the quality data. We want also to demonstrate how the quality of the turnover can increase when we have the contact with the M&Es. So the cooperation with the M&E is extremely tricky phase for the profiling process, and but you have large advantages of the effectiveness of manual profiling. But it implies an increase of the statistical burden for the M&E perspective. And the goal of the contact phase is to obtain the necessary data for the manual profiling, the necessary information for a good delineation of the end, but is also to create a unique access point for collecting economic data for all user needs, such as national count, SABS, and SSTS. And this study is an example how direct involvement of the profile M&Es can contribute to the quality of an economic statistics. And through comparison, the data provided by the groups following the interview, and data that the team can calculate to the desk analysis. This is the organization of our GR profiling team. We call it GR profiling team because in Italy the team is in charge of business register and is in charge of the team. There are both activity on GR and profiling. So the team is composed by a mix of experts in business register, in profiling and AGR. And we assign the responsibility of each M&E to the same profiler for the different references here. And we have regular exchange of opinion between the team thanks to the we call them motivating weekly meetings. And the profiling team is in the moment composed by 8 people, only women. And the team has a strict collaboration with the colleagues from SBS Statistics, from FATS Statistics. And starting from October, we have a new organization, and we hope we have a new investment in new people. And now, we can define the contacting with the group as a step-by-step process in 2 different ways. In the first way, because the contact is very difficult. In the first, we start usually from the contact that from SBS survey, or that we try in the website of the group or in financial document. And then usually after this first contact, in this first contact, we ask the correct name, the correct people that is able to give us the total information of the group, that have a total picture of the international group. And then we schedule a formal visit, but is not easy because the formal visit depend of the deadline, in particular the financial account deadline of the groups. And we can decide to perform different typology of interview. It depends of each M&A. It can be a face-to-face interview, a conference call, or a web meeting. But we can consider this step also a step-by-step process, why we contact the groups in different years, and we want to demonstrate that the follow-up analysis increase the quality of data, both in the delineation of the end, that in the collect data on the end. And my colleagues develop a database in Excel when they store all information about the 3 different grants. And the information concern the type of contact, emails, telephone calls, formal letter, meeting, the outcome of the contact, and if a light case, identification the correct persons for the cooperation, no feedback, and the respondent selection mode, open source, such as corporate website, SAPS or STS respondent, and so on. Il contact level in the M&A, the data provided by the groups in the different years, and data acquisition model, if is necessary, a face-to-face interview, a questionnaire, or a structured template. In this slide, some picture that show you some statistics on M&As contacted in the year 2011, 2013, and 2015. In the first picture, we can see how in the follow-up activities, the successful of the profiling activity increase. The 5 groups in common of the 3 years are the same groups. And in the second picture is in terms of the typology of the contact. We can say that when the group is contacted with a well-detailed email or official email sent by our directorate that explains the scope of the project, the main scope that we want to achieve through this new delineation, then we have more successful. And in the third picture, we have also the data collected in the 3 different years. We can see how we increase the information from 2011 to 2015. Now, in this picture, we have two examples of 2 groups. The first group, the case A, is composed by 4 ants. The second group is composed, the case B, is composed by 3 ants. In the first column, we have the not consolidated turnover. In the second column, the consolidated turnover. We want to show you how the overestimation of turnover change, decrease, thanks to the information available directly by the group respect to the calculation of the turnover by the staff. In the column A, you have the turnover calculated for each ant as a sum of the turnover in the business register of each legal unit belonging to the ant. In the column B, you have the same turnover calculate, consider financial report or SBS frame. It is a sum of the revenues of each legal unit belonging to each ant. And just the indicator 1 show how in the many cases the value of the turnover is decreased. We call this indicator an economic indicator because we pass through a statistical view of the group to a first economic approach in statistics. Then we measure we recalculate the consolidated turnover for each ant measured by the profiled through the desk analysis, considering that consolidate financial statement, and then compare this value with the value collected directly by the M&As. The second indicator shows the decrease in the consolidated turnover comparing the turnover measuring by the profile with the turnover for directly provided by the M&A. And this indicator show an increase in quality in the turnover when we passed through by the desk analysis to the manual, to the interview. The third, the fourth indicator compare the data collected in the third indicator. We compare the turnover collected by the M&A with the turnover calculated by the staff as a sum of business register turnover. And the fourth indicator, we compare the consolidated turnover with the with the business register is inverted. And show this slide shows the four indicators. The third and the fourth represent the comparison of turnover variable between data provided by M&A itself and the turnover data collected without profiling, and show an increase in statistics quality following the application of the international profiling methodology. Conclusion. This contribution is intended to highlight the importance of building up a solid relationship between M&As to be profiled and NCE. And a direct involvement of the large groups can contribute to increase the quality of an economic statistic at national and international level, ensuring consistency in statistics. And it's very important to maintain the contact during the different years with large M&As to create a unique contact in each national institute. For this reason, in ISTAT is create the large case unit that for the next step of profiling activity have in charge the contact of the large M&As. And is also important a strong collaboration with the SBS expert. We in October start for the first year a new surveys on interflow for the large multinational in Italy, and we ask with this survey to each groups with this a survey sent to at group level, we individuate a group level respondent, and we ask in the first page of the questionnaire to confirm the structures of the groups, to confirm the structure of the ant that we have delineate manually or by automatic profiling. And then the other section are dedicated to the interflows of the main variables of SABS. Thank you. I conclude.
Thank you very much,
Any
Serena. So, any
I
questions?
stopped my face.
Yes. Poland, please. Julita.
Okay, thank you. It's very interesting presentation as well. I know that it's not your work, but maybe you have an idea from your work in the office. What is the reason of the difference between turnover given by M&A and in annual report?
In the consolidate or annual?
Consolidated, yes.
Consolidate.
You don't have some information about flows? It is the reason or
It's
something
possible
else?
that we don't have all the information about the flow, or it's possible that we delineate a segment, operative segment, in different manner, because by desk analysis not all information are available. By balance sheet is different reasons.
And maybe one more question. So, if you estimate, you think that the data given by M&A, you estimate them higher level quality than from report you receive? What do you think from your work?
We suppose that the data required directly to the groups are a light level of quality respect and analysis due by balance sheet. Is hypothesis.
Okay, thank you. Then Mari, Finland.
Thank you, very interesting. I want to ask about the last point of conclusion you made. You are just about, did I understand, you are just about to send out a survey on SBS asking for the intraflows. So obviously you are doing the consolidation in-house, exactly what
Yes.
Sweden was
Yes.
pointing out in their presentation. Knowing that the consolidation process within the MNEs is not straightforward and not all that simple at all, I'm wondering whether there is any country present in this room that is going to ask directly the consolidated figures per enterprise.
Okay.
Obviously you are not, and Sweden is not, and we are not.
I'm not the responsible for consolidation, but I know that ISTAT, the choice of ISTAT is to consolidate internally the data and to ask only the interflow. I don't know all detailed of this survey. We start work in the next month with collaboration with SABS.
Okay, thank you. Other questions? Yes, or answers to the question. Yes, Estonia, please.
Thank you very much. Just one short comment that our method to ask consolidated data from enterprise. So we agree and we sign agreement with enterprise about the consolidation of data from their side and to agree the list of legal units. But of course, we have very restricted number of enterprises. This is our approach. Thank you.
Usually for construct, both for construct the business register, for collect data, you use the integrated consolidation method. This is the question? No?
It wasn't the question. I just react on Mari's question about our method. Thank you. So I understood that you are...
So Mari was just asking whether there are some countries present who actually ask directly the consolidated figures from the
from
enterprises or from the groups, and Svetlana was answering to this that they do.
And in our experience of manual profiling, we in some case receive all data with all interflow for all legal unit by Excel from some groups that, and for the other we have the consolidated result. For the surveys, I think some change.
I think that this question of consolidation, I mean, in the profiling, you have the delineation of the units.
Mm-hmm.
You have to find the, well, you call it the principal unit, which, you know, determines the NACE, but you have to give the attributes to the enterprise. And then there is the consolidation. So the three elements are there. And this part of on consolidation is a very tricky question. It would be nice to follow up on, you know, what happens with the survey, and is it possible to also gather some of this information together with the intensive profiling, you know, with the contacts with the MNEs? I don't know. The Netherlands has a long experience with intensive profiling, if you wish to comment. I also wanted to let you know that within the European Union we had 2 rounds of subventions to countries who were using an algorithm for automatic profiling. And 13 countries actually participated in that activity in 2 different rounds. And we have now analyzed the results and made a summary report that's going to be released in the next few days to try to share the experiences that have been gained by the countries to address this particular point. So I think that this is an issue that could benefit from, you know, future discussions and sharing of experiences. But before I allow you to go for lunch, I look if there are more questions to Serena or answers to Mari. I think that Kaisa mentioned that Sweden, you had considered getting the information directly from the group, but you gave up on that idea. That
the ones that we have contacted the ones that we have contacted points out that they won't give us any information unless they are obliged to do so by law. Okay, so then you have to cope yourself with this. All right, if no further questions to Serena, thank you very much for the second presentation. And I would like to thank very much all the contributors to the session. Several issues were brought up. The profiling activities are very prominent. This activity also leads to changes to the production processes and systems that we have. So, you know, a lot of the exploratory work that has been carried out will affect in some changes in the systems. And these presentations have illustrated the considerable impact of the groups, often multinationals, on the data and on the importance of delineating the enterprise groups and the enterprises within. And I think that the presentations have also highlighted the benefit of sharing national experiences to learn from each other. And the number of questions confirmed the interest in this. And also confirmed the benefits of cooperation across the borders. So, with that, I close this session. And I see that Claude is ready to take the floor. So thank you very much.
Just short information, we meet at 2 o'clock at the lobby, at the entrance.